Hey, welcome back to Handle Her with Care podcast. I am your girl, April Marie, and thank you so much for joining me. I just want to give a quick shout out to my show sponsor at My Hair Honey. I use their growth oil religiously. It is incredible. It does everything for my locks. As you can see, they are growing. If you go back and watch me a year ago to today, it's on my back, okay? And my edges is just doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So please get into it. You can find us at My Hair Honey on Instagram, and you can DM for your orders. I also want to give a shout out to the place where I record my podcast, 661 Creators Space. It is a phenomenal place where if you need any multimedia stuff, you want to record a podcast, what are you trying to do? Do a documentary? What do you need? Because this is the place that does it all. Okay. And the owner, I just have to give her a quick shout out, made me this personalized Handle Her with Care cup. Hello, this is the place that she has like a creator's lounge here where you can like bring some of your most amazing ideas to life. And she did this. Okay, so cheers to you, Tavier. Thank you so much for this. I love it. So we're going to dive right in to our topic today. And let's see. All right, we're talking about loyalty. Okay, what does loyalty look like when you turn it inward instead of consistently giving it out? Okay, you're loyal to everybody else, but you're disloyal to yourself. And what are you gaining from being that way? I can tell you now, not much. Okay. So loyalty to yourself is freedom. Because it breaks the cycle of being responsible for everyone else's comfort at the expense of your own well-being, right? So many women, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I know for me and a lot of the women that I come in contact with, which is a lot of women on a daily basis, have been praised for being loyal to a fault. Loyal to a fault. Okay, so loyal in relationships that have expired. Come on, raise your hand if that's you. Loyal to friendships that only take and never give back. Loyalty to family dynamics that drain you. Loyal to jobs that underpay you. Deep sigh, right? In and out. That was a good yoga breath. I heard it. Yes. Loyalty to versions of themselves that they've outgrown, right? So you're loyal to all of these things, but rarely are we taught to be loyal to our own needs. That moment when you become loyal to yourself, something interesting happens, right? So people lose access to you and to the version of you that was available on demand. And sometimes you might lose people, right? So sometimes you're going to hear the word selfish. Oh, she's so selfish. Or, they're going to say, oh, she's changed. Or, she's not the same anymore. I don't like this new different version. Who does she think she is? And it's really just because their access to you has changed. And we're not going to be disloyal to ourselves anymore. It's 2026, right? We're in the second quarter of 2026. We are thriving, right? We are trudging through some interesting things that are happening in our society and in our global economy. We are really making it through some murky times right now. And so some people are going to call you selfish, but the woman who is loyal to herself, hear me now, doesn't abandon herself to keep the peace. We're not doing that. She doesn't overextend herself to earn love. So she's not giving, just hoping someone will love her back. Someone's going to love me. Someone's going to care for me. No. We're not overextending to earn love. Okay. She doesn't betray her intuition to make others comfortable. So she's not going to quiet herself down and try to help someone else feel comfortable with her discerning spirit, right? With her ability to, let me turn my volume down. Yes. Okay. Do not disturb, because baby, we podcasting right now. All right. Okay. So she doesn't betray her intuition to make others feel comfortable. So she's not out here just making everyone else feel comfortable while she's inside screaming or crying or needing her peace but can't quite grab it. She's discerning those situations before she even gets in them, and she's like, "You know what? This is not going to serve me." Okay. And she doesn't confuse suffering with commitment. That's a deep one. So I'm going to say it again. She doesn't confuse suffering with commitment. What I'm talking about here, what this would look like, big picture, is she's in a relationship, a friendship even, with someone who is verbally abusive or emotionally abusive. And, but I'm loyal and I'm taking care of him, or I'm helping her. And even though they're going through something right now, yes, they may be going through something right now, but that something is not your fault. It is not your responsibility to solve that problem. It is not your responsibility to come in and try to make everything better for everybody else. No, absolutely no. Let your no be a no. And this, ladies, is a no. We are no longer going to confuse suffering or taking a back seat to someone else's anguish and pain as something that we can hold on for ourselves. We're not doing that anymore. We're done with that. Loyalty to yourself isn't about, hear me now, loving people less. Right? So just because I choose my own peace and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to go to that event. I am a little tired, and I want to, when I do show up for my friend, I want to show up with my best self. I don't want to be a problem or have a bad attitude because I'm now resenting the fact that I'm here because I sacrificed and I came, and the outcome, right, is not reciprocal. And now I'm stressed or I'm pressed. So no, I love you enough to say, hey, happy birthday. And I'm going to take you to lunch another day if time permits. But it doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means that right now is not a good time for me. And that's okay. That's okay. Okay? So it's about finally loving yourself enough to stop volunteering for your own depletion. And when you stop being everyone's emergency contact, come on, therapist, rescuer, and unpaid emotional support system, come through. People are forced to develop something they may have never had before. And you might ask, what is that? It's called personal responsibility. Yes, we are forcing people out of our bosom, okay, off the nip, off the tit, right into their own personal responsibility. Take ownership of the things that you need to take ownership of, ma'am or sir, and leave me out of it. Okay. And once you get yourself together and you're able to reciprocate in this relationship and make this, we're coexisting together, we're having a good time together. When you're able to do that, then we can talk. Until then, for me, it's a no. I can't, right? I just can't. And that's the freedom, right? And not freedom from caring. I care about you and I care about the things that you're going through. And I hear you. I can even understand and empathize. But I have freedom from carrying you. I'm not putting you on my back and walking us through these hot rocks, okay? I'm not putting you on my back. I'm going to extinguish the blaze. Come on, stand behind me. I'm not putting on the life vest and putting you on my back so that I'm still guzzling water as well. And you taking me down because you trying to make sure that you stay buoyant and I'm your raft. I can't, okay? We're not doing that anymore. Not, can't, won't. The most dangerous type of loyalty is loyalty that requires you to betray yourself. Because every time you choose everyone else over yourself, you're sending yourself a message that says, my needs can wait. Until one day your body, your mind, and your spirit decides that they can't. And that's when you spiral into resentment. And that is why here at Handle Her With Care, I'm consistently teaching and sharing that you have to restore, pull back, say no, reset. Oh, bye, earring. I guess it said it had enough of me shaking my head, huh? And that before I resent you for asking me to come, and then I come, and then I'm irritated, and I wasn't able to handle all the things that I had to handle, but I showed up for you and you didn't even receive me well, and all of those things that naturally come when you are giving from an empty cup. You can head that off at the path. You can decide early, I'm not going to be able to make it. I don't have the wherewithal. I'm tired. I may not have the funds that I'm interested in sharing, allocating to this thing. I don't have, the time really, to devote to a person outside of my family dynamic right now. And that's okay. That's okay. Okay. So we want to make those changes before our body, our spirit, and our mind says, girl. Because when she tells you to sit down, when your own personal physical body starts giving you signs of aging, right, or of sickness, or of just overall fatigue and tiredness, that is something, those resets, those setbacks cost you time. And I don't think that that's the type of time that you have to invest. I think that you could get ahead of the problem before it becomes one. Okay. Ask yourself this question. Have you ever stayed too long because you were loyal? Stayed in a friendship, stayed in a marriage, stayed in a role at work, stayed available. Not because it was healthy, not because it was reciprocal, but because you believed leaving would make you disloyal. Today, we're talking about being loyal to a fault and why the person most deserving of your loyalty is you. Stay with me now. So as women, right, we have learned self-abandonment, and we have really just used it as like a thing. Like we know like, oh, well, someone else needs a seat. Well, come on, sit down here next to me. It's okay. I'll scooch over. I'll make sure everyone else is comfortable, right? All of those things, like those moments where we're adapting, constantly moving, changing, shifting to make sure that everyone else feels comfortable when, there's something in you that needs the space that you have set aside for you. Okay. So we are taught, be nice as women. Be nice. What? Be nice. Smile. Right. I hate that. I'm honest, right? Don't tell me to smile. I'm going to give you a smile as soon as I get one. Soon as I get one to give you, I'm going to give you a smile. Maybe that's not what's in me right now. Maybe this face right here is all I got. And that's all you're going to get, because I have to be loyal to myself and my own emotions. I'm not rude. I might be direct sometimes, but even then it's I'm handling you with care, but I'll be kind, but I'm not always nice, right? So we're taught to be nice, be helpful, be over accommodating, be understanding, be patient. Okay. But what we are not often taught as women is to have boundaries, honor your capacity, trust your intuition, trust yourself. Stop asking everybody around you, should I do this? What do you think? Should I try? Should I, what do you think? Should I have it? Huh? Baby, what did you feel? What did you want? That is trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting God in you telling you, yes, go left with a T on and an exclamation point. Do the thing I said. Do the thing you felt. And you keep, asking people that don't know either. And that's crazy. Okay. All right. So we have what we're often not taught. Have boundaries, honor your capacity. That's a big one too. What do you have in your cup to give? Nothing? Then stop giving. Chill out. It's okay. Everybody gonna be fine. I don't need 10 chefs in the kitchen. I'm gonna remove me. So now there's 9. I think y'all got it. I'm gonna stay over here and keep doing what I'm doing. And I don't have to think with the 9 that's figuring out the small problem. Where's the phone? I don't know. Who has the phone? Did you have the phone? I had the phone. Well, somebody had. What? Don't ask me. Okay? I don't care who had the phone. I got my phones and I'm straight over here. Now, y'all want to go through and handle it and figure it out? I'm sure with all 9 brains together, you can figure out where the phone is or whose phone it is or who's supposed to go left or right or up or down. You don't need me. And I'm not inserting myself here. I'm going to pull back because I'm preserving my energy, right? Protecting your peace. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you protect your peace by, right, honoring your capacity. You don't need to be involved. These are things you don't need to think about. Why? You have too many things that you can think about that can make you some money or can change your life or your perspective on something. But you're too busy handling these small little external fires that have nothing to do with you. Let them go. Let them go. Okay? So women have been conditioned to see self-sacrifice as virtue. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about this. Like, what you say motherhood is not self-sacrificial. What do you mean by that? It's a big sacrifice. Yes. There are sacrificial things that you do within the scope of motherhood. Absolutely, right? And we do it because we love our children and we want them to have the best and we want them to be raised to be wonderful human beings. And we're here with that. We're in it. When I say I'm mothering with intention, I be tired because being a mama be tiring. Okay. If I'm 100% honest, when you're doing it right, it is not easy. When you're teaching these lessons and you're sharing this insight, it is not easy, but it must be done, right? It must be taken care of. So there's nowhere I can go with that, but I don't have to loathe the entire process that I'm raising this child within this 18-year period. Okay, I'm saying 18. I know everyone, it goes on longer than that. You'll see. I know. I know. They're your children for a lifetime. But as far as the hands-on day-to-day basis of what parenting looks like, it does shift after 17. I'm saying 18, they're going off to college. Your relationship shifts. If you don't know that, I can't teach that to you. And that's something that you'll have to experience or not. But I'm going to tell you right now, it should shift because your priority does need to kind of circle back to look back at you. What are you doing with the time that you still have on this earth? How are you making an impact for yourself? What imprint are you leaving? Whether you're crafting, right? Whether you're baking, whether you're going on a food tour, eat, pray, love, I don't care. Make something of the time that you have that's not spent being self-sacrificial. Yes, going to Disneyland is great when your kids are older. It sucks when your kids are small. I don't care what anybody says. I've had small kids. I've done Disneyland when they were young. It sucked. Everyone was tired by half of the day. And if you don't have a 2-day park hopper, you're going to have to drag them babies through Disneyland, kicking and screaming, crying. That is self-sacrificial. I don't want that. No. We'll wait to go to Disneyland when the kids are older so that we can all run through the park. Because I'm active mom. We out here. We running. We getting in the front of the line. We doing all the things. I'm getting in the front of the seat and we do hands up. Yeah, it's fun when they're older. But I do feel like even as a mother of young children, you can also enjoy the process and the life that you are creating with your family. You do not have to die on the hill of, well, I'm a mom, so life's going to suck for me. No, it doesn't have to. No, if you don't like Legoland, I didn't like Legoland when I was raising my kids. We didn't go back there. I went once and I stayed probably for 3-4 hours. And I said, you know what? I'm tagged. We're out of here. I'm out. I'm out of here. What is this place? It was not fun for me. I said, I go to resorts and places that we can all have fun. They got a kids club. Okay. We're gonna meet up at the beach later. I get a cocktail. You get a little sippy cup. Everybody's winning. I like to do things like that because it allows me to be in collaboration with my family and not always the one having to feel like I'm left out of the party. That's not what motherhood is about. That's not what being a woman is about. Being left out of the equation of fun. Always having to give. Well, mom will do it. Mom will do it. She'll do it. Yeah, get her to do it. Auntie will do it. No, that's not it. And we'll get more into that as these podcast episodes keep going. But it is definitely a thing. And I hear about it often. So when you are conditioned to see self-sacrifice as virtue, right? The results are burnout, resentment, exhaustion, and emotional depletion. It's just true. I've seen it. I am a self-care coach. I am a self-care strategist. I help women every day that come. I'm a cosmetologist, right? So I do help with self-care in terms of their physical body. And also because of how the conversations have unfolded, I'm also diving deeper into the heart of these women. And what I'm learning is that this is a thing. I wouldn't be talking about it so often if it wasn't, right? So self-sacrifice, being seen as virtue, results in burnout, resentment, exhaustion, and emotional depletion. And we don't want you to be in the space of emotional depletion. We need you. You need you. How about that? We love seeing you happy, right? Yes, you're going to have to chastise your kids. Yes, you're going to have to do some hard things, okay? But it doesn't have to be to the point where you no longer exist. It just doesn't. Even being a spouse, I hear so often, my husband. I love that you have a husband, okay? I had a husband once, and I can't wait to get another husband, right? Okay, because I'm divorced. But my point is, my husband, but what about you? What flavors do you like before you met this husband? Because, okay, he likes pina colada. And you're like, me too. Okay, no, hold on. What's your favorite too? What do you like? Do you remember? And that's your homework. Remember what the 3 things that you like. Write them down, and you can put them in the comments because I'd appreciate hearing 3 things you like, 3 things you enjoy that have nothing to do with your children and that have nothing to do with your spouse. And honestly, have nothing to do with your job, because that's another one. That's a biggie. These bosses, they are claiming us like, well, I don't have a boss. I'm self-employed, thank God. But these bosses are claiming us, because I'm a part of the women collective, like they own us or something. And they don't. They don't. So let's get into that. Like, take care of yourself. We are not going to walk around here emotionally depleted any longer. So the other question that I have to ask as we move forward, is it loyalty or is it fear? Okay. Are you loyal or are you afraid of disappointing people? That's a deep question. I think that the times when I was most loyal, to a fault were times when I was afraid of losing the person. For whatever reason it was. I don't know what it was, but I think I've grappled with feeling abandoned, right? If we're honest, I think I've grappled with feeling abandoned in my older years. Definitely after my divorce, it kind of struck me because I was like, oh my God, he's leaving and I have two kids, right? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, and they're boys and they require a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I give a lot, but like, am I enough? Am I gonna what's gonna happen? So I felt like abandoned. So in other relationships that I would get in, I would be overextending. And I would abandon things that I liked or knew to be true because I didn't want him to leave. Huh. What is this? Therapy? This is like therapy for me. Y'all come closer. Come closer. I mean, if I'm honest, right? Like, those were my thoughts. I felt like I just don't want him to leave because I really like having a partner. I really like being a lover girl. I really want to see, right, the white picket fence the way I designed it in my head. And right now I've got barbed wire on this piece. Like, this ain't the picket fence. This ain't what I want, you know? So I was willing to sacrifice certain things so that I could have a version of what I thought I really, really wanted. But the truth of the matter is, as I began to really do some deep work, some deep prayer, really, and just really sitting with myself and appreciating me and what I bring to the table, the value that I have for being excellent in all of the things that I am and being smart and being funny, right? And fun, being around people who laugh with me and enjoy my humor and my authenticity, right? Like I only want to be with someone who appreciates all those things. And so I wasn't being abandoned, but I'm looking at it now like I was being done a favor because you have to have capacity to hold me, you know? And so I think that, yes, fear of rejection was a big one for me. Abandonment, rejection, fear of judgment. Oh, yep. I was loyal because, I didn't want to be selfish or feel like people were going to think I was selfish. So I held on to a business for far too long than I needed to because I was loyal to the brand of my business and the business, and the salon, when really no one else was being loyal to me in that business. And so it didn't matter that I'm fighting for loyalty and I'm here, I'm showing up every day, I'm grinding for y'all. If no one else is doing that same. Now, okay, there was a few, but hear me, big picture. We're only zooming out for this. No one's reciprocating, right? I was fearful during that time of losing relationships, losing friendships, and it was all false. It was all false because loyalty should not require suffering. Okay, so a healthy loyalty, which is what I realized I had with people that I was being, unwaveringly loyal to. I didn't even have to do all that to still maintain these friendships and this sisterhood and, companionships. I didn't have to do all of that. I was able to actually have healthy loyalty, but it only came when I created boundaries. I stuck to them. I withdrew and I decided to see where just me showing up as myself every day would get me. And what I've noticed is that with my boundaries, with my rest, I've been able to see real growth and I have changed a lot. And I feel good about that. I feel healthy. I feel whole. Okay? I feel like a whole meal. I mean, I'm ready to go. Okay? I've got my heart feels happy and content and I have joy, inner joy. And I know that comes from the Lord, but I'm talking about like I'm just like, hey, man, I was on a flight the other day and oh my gosh, me and one of my business partners were getting off the flight, and it was this lady. She was definitely a cigarette smoker, and I could tell she was in the middle of a nicotine fit. And she gruffly said, "Get out of her way," you know. And I honestly was able to look at her. I looked her, excuse me, my coffee. I looked her up and down, and I heard that voice replayed in my head, even though it was an instant. It was like, "Get out of my way. Just move, just get out of my, let me through." And I looked at her and I said, and it was a bit of a thing, but then I looked at her and I said, "Well, you could say it nicer than that. You really could say it nicer than that. But I understand, what's I it was like I wasn't triggered and I wasn't unhappy, because I really do have joy in my heart. And I have that joy and that peace because I've grown, right? I'm not I'm not unhinged and unhappy. So I was able to look at her in her state of grief, trying to get off that plane so she could go get that smoke. I get it, my darling, and I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But I did tell her, you absolutely could have said it nicer than that. And she looked at me, and, there was another type of exchange that happened, but it's not important because I felt empathy for her, even in her rudeness. And I was like, wow, that is really just God, because I felt nothing but sorry for her that she has to treat strangers that way. And, and so I think that me having the ability to pull back, right, and grow and take some time away to myself, it allows me to see people for where they are, where they truly, truly are. And a lot of people are in a state of unrest. A lot of people are grieving a lot of things that are happening around the world. And I don't want to be involved in that. So I'm able to see it for what it is now. I'm not loyal to that moment. I let it go. Just go ahead and go, baby. Go ahead. And, after I let her go, the other people behind her backed on up, and they were like, "No, go ahead, get your bag. It's fine. It's fine." They were so patient with me and my business partner because, God bless you. God bless you. But it's come because I created a year ago boundaries for myself. And then I was able to rest and really, truly pull back and say, I was in need of this, really, restoration, restorative rest. So I was able to grow, right? And learn some things and really take the moment to say, people are going to be people. And I don't have to buy into that. I don't have to be stuck there. I don't have to go with that. But probably if I was in a state of unrest and unhinged like I was a year ago, baby, I'd probably still be on that plane with that lady on a standoff. Straight up. Like, none of us is moving. Anyway, so I just want to say, to seal that with a kiss, that healthy loyalty allows you to have growth, change, rest, and it helps you to set boundaries because you want to continue to grow. You don't want to be stifled. And so being loyal to something that does not serve you, does not care about you, will not reciprocate to you, is being loyal to a fault. And I don't want that fault for you. Okay? So when you're always available, let's go here. I have a story for that too. People stop solving their own problems. People stop, or never did, respect your limits. And people begin depending on your sacrifice. Dang. Those three, they hit me. Let's unpack the first one. People stop solving their own problems. I know it. I've seen it. I have experienced it. Where's the toilet paper, Miss April? We're at the salon. Been here. You've been here for 2 years. Why are you asking me where the toilet paper is? You know where the toilet paper is? I say, oh, and because I was on autopilot and on, really self-sacrificial mode, which didn't serve me and almost made me have a mental breakdown, was I would say, oh, it's in the cabinet up on the left. Okay, there's 2 rows. You can just grab 2, throw them in. Okay, and then, oh, you know what? Would you also mind? Right, I'm on autopilot, so I'm doing the thinking for the people around me. This is a dependency problem. No. We cannot have that. We cannot always be available. I just at 41, and y'all be so proud of me, I got a new phone and I set the bedtime for 10:30. So it has a little bed icon, and people that know have to ring me twice, right? To get through, like, do not disturb. It tells me at 10:30, it does like this little chime, do, 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 like sleepy time, baby. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's 10:30. I should be in the bed. Let me go tuck in. Let me turn on my heating blanket, and let me get ready, because I'm not going to be receiving calls or texts unless they're an emergency contact. And those are very, very few, right? I'm like, no, because for the 24 years that I've been an entrepreneur, I have answered calls like a fool. Listen, like a fool. It didn't matter. If somebody texted me at 11 o'clock, hey, babe, sorry for the hour. I just wanted to say, do you have anything for tomorrow? I know it's late. Hee hee hee, tee hee hee. And my crazy butt would be like, hey, I don't have tomorrow. I do have a website. Go to the website and book your appointment, because this is rude. I am not a robot, and I am not a system. I am not a machine. I am a person, a woman who has children, right? A family, a life. So you must use my website to book an appointment. If all else fails, you can text me at a reasonable hour. But this has been 24 years of me, right, being disloyal to myself, disloyal to my own needs, and allowing people to depend on me always being available, and did. And now I've set a boundary. I have a bedtime ringer. It tells me, no, you're done. Done. And 10:30 is late, but sometimes, after a good present curl session, we be having our wine and talking. So sometimes my last appointment be going into like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's like a nice little 30-minute wind down if I want to talk on the phone and stuff like that, or get text messages or go online or do whatever, then I can. But after that, baby, no. No, I'm not available, Okay. So people stop respecting your limits. So then when you tell people no, they're like, oh, come on, please. Don't you just have time for me? Can't you just take me? Can't you just do me? Well, what? Okay. So what about, right? My no is my no. And I meant that. And it's just not fair that you keep pushing me, because you know that I have empathy, and you know that I'm a kind person. And really, I suffered from being nice for like my whole life. So now I'm kind, but that's because I've drawn a boundary. And it's like, you're not going to just get over on me, and stop it. Stop. That's so manipulative. And, right? But that's okay, because now I've wised up. Now I'm no longer disloyal to myself. And when I say, no, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Nope, I'm actually exhausted here. I'm going to put a pin there. You know what? Hey, we're going to talk about that at your next appointment. I'll see you then. Those are the pauses that I've become very comfortable with, because you got to respect these limits. No. So when people start depending on your sacrifice, like they're depending on you just saying yes, because you always do. She always does. She'll do me. It's fine. I remember when I told someone that I was, it's not even just someone, it was a number of women that I told them I was going to be retiring soon. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be retiring soon. I'm going to be done doing hair, standing behind the chair. My passion is podcasting. My passion is writing, right? Like short books and self-help books and journals. I have my self-care journal, right? Like a soft space journal is what it's called, but it's a self-care journal with a checklist and all of those things. It's wonderful. But I'm like, no, this is really what is my passion. This is what is where it's bringing me, where it's leading me, right? And so people would tell me, no, you're going to still do me. You're going to still do my hair. You're going to still do me. And I remember over explaining because I was trying to I was trying to understand why would someone say it like that? You know, like that. Like I have this loyalty to a fault to go back on my own word that I want to be retired from standing behind the chair in 2 years. Why are you not championing me? Because that would be 26 years of me using these hands that God has blessed me with to not have really any big issues with. But, you do the same thing for 24 or 5 years, right? It's time to do something else with these hands because they be tired. And so I just couldn't understand why it wasn't just one person, it was a lot of people that was like, oh, but you still gonna do my hair. Oh no, honey, because I'll just come to the house. That's what they would say. I'll just come to the house. And I would be just flabbergasted. And then I would go into this nice rhetoric of trying to explain why I'm, gonna be retiring and why no, I don't even have a comb at home, so you wouldn't want to come there because it's not gonna be, and no, I won't be doing, and no, like, what are you gonna do? And it's like, I have a hair care company. I have the podcast platform that I'm launching and actively doing. I'm going to be fine, but that's not your business. And it's so disrespectful to that. But I wasn't loyal to myself to set a boundary to say, oh no, I'll be fine. Did you want your hair done today? Okay, then let's have a seat. And when I tell you that I'm done doing hair, we're going to go ahead and respect that. Moving forward. That's kind, right? Because who does that? But that was me, right? And people depending on me saying, okay, yeah, I'll just do you if you come to the house shrinking. No. I'm fabulous. And I deserve to have a career shift, right? And to do well at it and to be well and to feel like I'm here for a bigger and deeper purpose and that I have the ability to reach others. I have reached countless women with these hands, and I've blessed so many crowns. I'm thankful to God that I've had the ability to have the career that I've had and that I still have, and I'm still working and doing the things that I love. But when I say I'm done, I'm done. And that's the respect. And so just to recap, when you're always available, people stop solving their own problems. Your hairstylist is retiring, you have to find another hairstylist when she retires, right? Or she's going to refer you to people that will handle you with care. People stop respecting your limits. When I tell you I'm done, my last appointment's at 7, please stop calling me, ask for 8:15 because you get off the bus at. I don't work that late. I have to get home. I have children. And that's just crazy that you keep asking because you did not ask Chase if they will stay open late for you. Right? But we do it to small businesses all the time. Cake businesses. We do it to catering companies. Can you just, come on, it's just a small Black business. Like who, come on. I mean, you don't want this money? I used to hear that all the time in my younger years. Then I got a little mean when it came to that comment, right? People be like, well, I'm trying to give you some money. Oh, hold on. I actually do this for the relationship with my clients. I mean, the money is in exchange for the service, but I want you in my chair because I like you and I care for you, not because you're paying me so much. I mean, if that was the case, if I'm 100% honest, I mean, I'd be an actress or some sort of songwriter or something like that, right? Where, you would think the money's so vast and they're writing me a check. So I guess let me take my bra off. You know what I mean? I don't know. But the way that, people have behaved, but it's not them. I'm not resenting them. I remember my part that I played. And so if you take the mirror and you look at yourself in your life, right? I'm giving you examples that resonate with me. Hopefully you're able to take what I'm saying off the page and look at it in your own life, right? And see where you could apply this good, vital information, because this is a tool. These are tools. Okay. So people, depending on your sacrifice, we're no longer serving that. Okay. And the more dependable you become, the more invisible your needs become. Wow. Yeah. Because who can see you if you don't speak up for yourself? Nobody. So when you start choosing yourself, you're going to lose some people. Period. Okay. There's going to be people that can't hang, people that don't understand that you matter as well. I'm not saying that I'm the only one that matters. I'm saying I matter too. Okay. It's not rocket science. I matter too. Mommy, kids, if you're watching, mommy matters too. Husband, if you're in earshot of this podcast, wife matters too. So we're not saying you don't matter. It's just all coming back to the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't know if you feel it, but I'm not saying that you don't matter. Husbands, kids, right? Jobs. I'm saying that I also matter. And I also need to have my needs met in conjunction with me meeting yours. Okay. So people will feel abandoned. Will. It's not a guess. It's true. Some people may become angry with you, right? Lash out irrationally and all that extra. And here's the thing. Let them. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. You're not bothering me because I'm not shifting back to someone who allows you to walk over my back. I'm not shifting back. Absolutely no. So, okay, I get it. You're going to go? Go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. Some people may even accuse you of changing, and you know what? You're doggone right. I have absolutely changed. Yes, I'm better for it. And if this relationship cannot weather the change of me standing up for myself now at this point, then we were never aligned to begin with. And that's that. Never, right? But what actually shifted was you stopped carrying what was never yours, and people are forced to develop their own emotional muscles and use them, develop them and use them. And we can all independently live together, loving each other, warm with each other, kind to one another, right? Caring, supportive, right? All of the things. But I don't have to carry your emotional weight and your, baggage because I'm self-sacrificing, because I don't have boundaries and I never stood up for myself. And then when I finally do, you leave because you're used to being able to walk on my back or stand on my shoulders. We're not doing that to people anymore. And if you're allowing that to happen to you, we're done with that now. All right. Loyalty to yourself is liberation. What does loyalty to yourself look like? I've been waiting to get to this part. When I was writing it last night, I was like, this is going to be so good. Trusting your intuition, right? This is what loyalty looks like. When you pray and you ask God for resolution to an issue, or you're just thanking him for the everyday things, and he's like, okay, go left, go right. Or, you're feeling these feelings and you're like, oh, I just feel it in my spirit. I'm supposed to go and do X, Y, and Z. Do the thing. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. I wish I would have known that a long time ago. Like trust yourself. You got this. You got this, right? What loyalty looks like: resting before you burn out. Doggone it. If I could have known this years back, man, what? I would have been a different person by now, before now. I mean, I'm better now. But resting before burnout. Ladies, get a hold of yourself. Burnout is inevitable in certain spaces. You're an entrepreneur, you're a mother, right? You're going to be tired. It's inevitable. And if you haven't seen, I am on Substack now. And I just wrote an article, my first published article on Substack. And it is about inevitable burnout, what it looks like, and how do you modify it? How do you manage it? How do you take care of yourself, even though these inevitable things keep coming up? They're going to keep happening. You're going to have to still be a mother. You're going to still have to be a wife, and you're going to be tired. But there are things that you can put in place to help you to be a participant in your own life, right? And not just a spectator or the creator of the experience that has to sit on the outsides and call action, cut, pause, hey, get it, stop. You can also be in the scene. In the scene. Get in the scene. Get in the scene. I love that. Yes. That just came up for me. I love that. Okay. Resting before burnout. Leaving when something no longer aligns. I talk about the salon. It was just no longer in alignment with me, right? All of the things that came with the salon burden, it became a burden. Let it go. Close it. I did a grand closing. Why? Because I did that thing. I'm so proud of what I accomplished, and I didn't need it anymore. It didn't serve me. So I let it go. Okay. Because I'm not going to be loyal to a fault to a business that does not reciprocate. And it's something that I cannot pass down. None of my sons are going to be hairstylists or barbers, right? So far. So it's not a business that I'm able to pass down. It's something that, like, no, let it go. Don't be loyal to a business, right? To a person, to a circumstance that is no longer serving you, really. Saying no without guilt. Oh my God. I mastered that this weekend. I was not guilty. We were in Vegas. My sister was like, oh, because she is like, okay, she's fun. She's super fun. And you guys have seen her on this podcast before. We've had some great episodes, and she'll be back. But saying no without guilt, she was like, oh, we went out one night. It was great. And she was like, okay, so after this, we were at dinner. After this, we're just going to go to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nope, I already called my son to come pick me up. No. And I was like, I don't ever tell baby sis no. I be telling her yes to everything. I'm like, okay, baby, sure. I said no. The next day it was like, oh, well, we're going to go here after this. And I was like, no, I'll be right here. And I had my coffee because my parents be drinking coffee all the time. And I had my MacBook and I had my phones, and I was able to get some work done. I'm in school right now for life coaching. I was able to get some assignments completed. I had work. I had things that I wanted to do for myself. And I knew that if I self-sacrificed, that I would be resentful to the moment. Like, man, I should have and this sucks. Everybody's drunk except me. Not really drunk. Okay, that's aggressive. But everyone's drinking and having a ha 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 ha. And I knew in the back of my mind, I had responsibilities and things that I just wanted to rest and do the things that I wanted to do more on an introverted scale. Okay. So saying no, and I wasn't guilty. Choosing peace over performance. So choosing peace, deciding, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to scale back. And instead of showing up and then having to perform, now I got to be on, I got to do all these things. No, you don't. Reserve. Okay. We give from our overflow. When I have it and it's overpouring and it's overflowing, you can have some, baby. But when I'm on emissions, on E, right? Isn't that what you're giving out? They say, don't let your gas come down to the bottom because now you're just giving more emissions or whatever. Yeah. On empty, I got to keep that back, and I have to wait till my tank gets full and overflows again before I can give. Okay? So loyalty to yourself creates freedom, confidence, self-trust, and emotional safety. Because now your relationship with yourself is not conditional. I don't want a conditional relationship with myself. I want to be able to love myself unconditionally. And I don't want to have a resentment towards myself for not being 100% authentic. I want to be authentic in everything that I do. So think about this as we close up this episode, okay? Because I feel like I've given a lot of analogies and I've given a lot of information and ideas, and I really want you to sit with it. I want you to comment below. I want you to share your story with me. You can always direct message me. But a woman who is loyal to herself doesn't stop loving others. I really want you to get that. It doesn't mean that you turn cold or heartless or hateful, or now you're telling your kids, get out of my face. It's my time. No, that's not it. That's not it. There's a healthy way of displaying self-loyalty, right? And so it's just, you simply refuse to abandon yourself while doing the things that you must do. Right? We're going to have to take care of our kids. We're going to have to be the wife. We're going to have to be the girlfriend, right? We're going to have to be the boss lady. We're going to have to be an employee. And so it just means that while you're doing the things, you're not abandoning yourself and your needs. Okay. You can be compassionate without self-sacrifice. You can be generous without depletion. You can be loving without losing yourself. Because the truth is, the healthiest version of loyalty isn't loyalty that empties you. It's loyalty that honors you and your beliefs, your boundaries, and who you are as a person, as a woman, right? And when you learn to give from your overflow, as I said earlier, instead of your reserve when you're on E and you just scrounging up some extra so you can open your eyes and get out the bed, but yet and still you're giving. No, you're going to have to replenish. Everybody in your life benefits, including you, right? So when you give from your overflow instead of your reserve, everyone in your life benefits, including you. And I'm going to leave you with this quote. The moment I become loyal to myself, I stopped feeling guilty for choosing peace. And that's when my life finally began to feel like my own. I absolutely love that. And it resonates so deeply with me. That's why I wrote it. And I want you to take that and I want you to know that you are worthy of your own loyalty, of your own care. And I believe that your no's are so powerful and your yeses need to be full body yeses. So if you don't feel it in your whole body, like we talked about with Dr. Chantrice, if you don't feel yes in your whole body, it's a no. And that includes Disneyland with them kids. Huh? That includes Hurricane Harbor or whatever. They're asking, can we go? Can we go? No, but we can go to the Aria Resort because then you could be by the kiddie pool and mommy can have her pool and there's a vibe and we all living. Because it all has to go together because you are a participant, not a spectator in your own life. Thank you so much for tuning into this amazing episode of Handle Her With Care podcast. I know this resonated with you because you're a woman and naturally we give, okay? So I want you to click subscribe. Please like this episode and share for more because I want to continue to bring you good information that comes from my heart and comes out of these fingers from life experiences and things that truly, truly matter. You can follow me on Instagram at handleherwithcare_podcast. You can also find my website, www.aprilmarieholland.com. You can also follow my personal page on Instagram at ROXSTARR_life. And oh, I think that's it. Did I miss anything? I don't know. But if I did, I will put it in the description of this episode. I love you. Be loyal to yourself. Don't be loyal to a fault. And I will definitely see you next time. I love you. And don't forget to handle yourself with care. Mwah. Bye.